Well, good afternoon, everyone. This is David Powell, and you're looking at another edition of our YouTube channel. Uh, we will call this, let's see, this would be the first April severe event that we're looking at, and we're going to be looking at the wherefores and the how-tos and when we're going to expect this severe weather to come in, and we're starting today. So as we look around the area, it's been a nice day. It's very humid out there. I'm not ready for this humidity, and I'm certainly not ready for the heat. I guess I'm just a naturally cool weather person, but it is nice to look at, and it's nice to get some nice weather like this. I know some of you love that heat, so okay, have at it. You're going to get plenty of it, at least as we go through the next 24 hours. So we're going to take a look at this camera. This is on the Southern Bypass. It's a nice day. You see the flags are flying, and it's not a heavy wind, but it's I guess a moderate wind out of the south, and that humidity is still building in across the area. And then we look over towards I-24 and 6880. Again, it looks like actually they got a little more sunshine over there, but there's still some clouds you can see up there in the sky. So overall, it's a pretty nice day. But you know what? This is a little bit above normal, I think. Isn't that right, Mark?
It is absolutely normal. We're normally only in the 70s by this time in April. It's up in the 80s today. It's humid. The south winds are nice. It's a gorgeous day to be outside, but it portends some bad things coming our way later.
Yeah, we're looking right now at the radar with the overlay of the Storm Prediction Center severe outlooks, and we can see the moderate risk is all the way back there from about central Missouri down through central Arkansas. But if you look up to the north there, you'll see a severe thunderstorm already forming. Don't see that getting to our area just yet. Our action is going to come a little later, but as we change off this and go to the HRR, which is, they call that an experimental radar. I'm going to call it up here in just a second. I'm still learning these controls, fellas or folks. I'm just not quite sure what buttons to push, so I'm working on it right now. Actually, my assistant, Crystal, and Paul are both here, and they're trying to keep me from messing everything up. So let's look at the HRR, put it into motion. And this is starting tonight. And look at that squall line trying to form up. I bet that means that they're probably updating that radar. And that's probably exactly what's happening. Let's see how we're doing here. Okay. Yeah, that squall line gets down into central Missouri, and I think the time on that is about 8 a.m. That's where it is expected to be. Now, I did look on ahead at the last bit of that radar before they started updating it, and it had a supercell right over Hopkinsville and Madisonville around, I think it was around noon. Wasn't that right, Crystal? Yeah, around noon tomorrow. So the conference call we had at the National Weather Service said the big show starts tomorrow afternoon. Mark, what do you think?
Yeah, I've been watching the models for the past couple of days, and they've consistently shown tomorrow morning for the squall line to be moving in.
Yeah, and they're saying that the rainfall amounts, of course, as you see, it's a line, and those storms moving northeast will be training over the same area, so we could get some appreciable rains out of this.
Yeah, flooding concern is something I've had in the back of my mind for a couple of days as well, because they showed that squall line in the front more or less stalling out on us for several hours. And the storm cells will be moving along them to the northeast and training one after the other. And that could give us a lot more precip than what they're expecting.
Yeah, I did see one estimated amount of 2 inches or so. Of course, that could be more underneath those training storms. Let's look at the day, let's see, what is it? Day 2 outlook of what we're looking at on the Storms Prediction Center. Let's see if we can call that up. We're working on it over here frantically. Here we go. Now, Mark, what are we looking at here now all of a sudden?
All right, well, for today and this afternoon, we were barely in the area for marginal severe weather. The outlook for tomorrow has us in an enhanced area all here, as you can see. And that just means our chances are much greater. Enhanced, if you look right here, uh, is a 3 out of 5 for the potential for severe weather. The main threat they're looking for is straight line winds again, but they can't completely rule out tornadoes. And again, the flooding potential coming in behind that.
Okay, and Mark, your audio is just breaking up a little bit. I think we're going to be okay, so we're going to keep going on this. Let's take a look at the current radar, and I think that one of the things that you'll notice is that really we don't have a whole lot in our area. Let's take off the overlay. There we go. Let's take a look at those storms up there in the northern part of the area of Missouri. Scroll on in a little bit. Can't see the storm. Let's see. There we go. You know, that looks pretty rough. And in fact, those storms in the cluster up there looks like it will be some fairly severe weather up in that area. That's where the moderate risk, I think, if I'm not mistaken, is currently located. So, again, I don't see that that's going to be a thing that's going to affect us. In fact, really, most of the rest of the day today looks like it's going to be fairly quiet. It will be getting muggy, and maybe some clouds will start moving in. And then as we get into the overnight hours, what do we expect overnight, Mark?
For us, just a continued chance for showers. Our far western counties are right over by the Mississippi River are under the potential for severe weather overnight, and they could get anything, high winds, hail, and the possibility of tornadoes. But that's only if storms can really get going over in Missouri as the afternoon and evening goes on.
I will say that we are currently capped, and for those who don't know, I've talked about this several times on my Facebook page. You're capped when you have a layer of warm air in the atmosphere, probably about 5,000 feet or so. But what happens is when the warm air rises, it's building the storms, and they hit that layer of warmer air, it stops. So therefore, the clouds don't build any further, and just you don't have any rainfall or any storms building up at all in that area. So what you have to do is have something that will break that cap, which could be a number of things. Mark?
Usually what breaks the cap is it actually gets warm enough underneath for it to punch through that cap as that air tries to rise. When it does that, the storms can go really explosive.
Well, and that's true. So that's kind of what we expect to happen as we get on into tomorrow. As we're watching the area, the whole thing looks like it's going to be getting pretty active, and we'll have better idea on things whenever we go live tomorrow morning. We'll try to stay live as long as we can most of the day tomorrow if that's what's required. Certainly until the worst of the severe weather is over with. You know, after a while, I'm going to have to sign off tomorrow night and go to another job the next morning. But we'll see how it plays out. I'm hoping that the worst of it will be over with by then, and certainly don't want to let anybody down as we go through this. I think I'll be joined by Levi. Most of you met Levi in the last live thing, and he's going to be a regular member of our staff. You'll be seeing more and more of him as we go through time. So, Mark, you got anything you want to add?
Well, unfortunately, I'm going to be working tomorrow, so I'm going to be watching the broadcast instead of being part of it. But other than that, again, keep your eyes and ears open, keep your eyes to the sky, and listen out for warnings.
And with that, I'm going to leave you with this thought. Life can be risky sometimes. I can accept failure. Everyone fails at something. But cannot accept not trying. I would much rather have regrets about not doing what people said than regretting not doing what my heart led me to and wondering what life would have been like if I had just been myself. There will always be turbulent times in life. The waters of life will not always be calm. Life will not always be rosy, and not all your days will be sweet. So live one day as if it's your last. Love as if you'll never love again. Take a risk that's worth taking even if you fail. Be at peace and learn something new every day.